What's going on? It's the Big Rig Bull, Texas truck accident lawyer Reshard Alexander in the building again. I think this is Wednesday, and I have some help over here to put up my art pieces. I'm working on the settlement demands, and other people, my wife principally, is helping put up the art for me. I certainly appreciate it. But in other news, looks like I have another helper with me too. What you doing under the table? Huh? What you doing? Watching a movie. Under the table? Okay. That's different. You don't want to say anything? No? Okay. So I'm going to get back to working on these settlement demands, and I'll talk to you later. All right, so Kristen helped me get some of the photos up. I mean the art stuff behind me and the mirror and that one. But I'm going to go ahead and try to put some of this other stuff up myself because I'm tired of seeing it on the ground. And I have to get this stuff up and done. I'm tired of looking at it, so it needs to be put up. So that's what I'm about to do. It's the Big Rig Bull, Texas truck accident lawyer Reshard Alexander here for episode 31. We're going to talk about safety fitness standards under Texas commercial motor vehicle law today. I'm going to try to keep this short, sweet, and simple. For the most part, what happens is a safety inspection can occur when a safety inspector goes out to conduct an on-site review under the FMCSRs or the HMRs, or when a state trooper conducts a review of the motor carrier as well. So these are the standards, these are the things that will take place, or these are the levels that you are held accountable to if you are a motor carrier in the state of Texas. So let's jump right into it. First of all, the safety fitness standards are drawn up under 385.5. So if you want to look it up, that's where you're going to find it in the Green Book. But there are three safety fitness determinations that a motor carrier can fall under. The first one is satisfactory. This means that the motor carrier is functioning adequately or has adequate safety management controls. They're basically meeting 385.5. Okay, and when they say adequate, it means that for the size and type of operation that the motor carrier has, they have adequate safety measures put in place. All right. The second one is conditional. This means that the motor carrier does not have adequate safety management controls in place to ensure compliance with the safety fitness standards enumerated in 385.5. All right. The third one is unsatisfactory. Okay, and it's the same type of standard as conditional. However, the motor carrier is subject to the provisions in 385.13. So it's kind of like a hammer, punishing you in 385.13. I'll let you look that up, or 385.13, depending on how you want to look at it. Okay, so there's also a standard under Texas commercial motor vehicle law called the unrated carrier, and the FMCSA has not assigned. That means the FMCSA has not assigned the carrier a safety rating. Now, the thing about it is that I believe the U.S. Department of Transportation is undergoing a rulemaking process, and they're looking at changing the ratings to unfit, marginal, or continue operations, which makes a lot more sense, I think, than the satisfactory, conditional, or unsatisfactory, especially when they're giving us the same definition for conditional and unsatisfactory, but they're just saying unsatisfactory that, hey, you can be punished under 385.13. Okay? Now, I want to talk briefly about the interstate and the intrastate timelines. I know you've been following along, and if you haven't, if this is the first time you're hearing this, interstate trucking or timelines means that we're talking about trucks that are traveling state to state. crossing state borders. Interstate means that they're operating only within that state. They're driving only within that state. So for our purposes, for the most part, what we really care about right here is intrastate timelines, because we're talking about the state of Texas. However, we're going to compare the two very briefly so you can kind of get a gist of what's going on. So for interstate timelines, it's regulated, obviously, the governing agency or body is the FMCSA. This is dealing with motor carriers who are transporting hazardous material in a placardable quantity or transporting passengers. If they get an unsatisfactory rating, they have 45 calendar days to change that to a conditional or a satisfactory. If they're not able to do that, then they're screwed. They're probably going to get a final unsatisfactory letter, and they're not going to be able to operate. Obviously, they're not going to be able to operate if they're unsatisfactory. But the thing you need to know about the interstate timelines is that if you do have an unsatisfactory rating as an interstate motor carrier, you're going to be ineligible for contract or subcontracting transportation services with the federal government or federal agencies. When we move over to the interstate timelines, the governing agency or body that you're going to always be reporting to is the Texas Department, the Texas DPS, Department of Public Safety. With this situation, it's a little different, okay, because over here you got 45 calendar days. In Texas, dealing with interstate, you have 60 calendar days, okay, and this is for motor carriers who are transporting hazardous material in a placardable quantity or transporting passengers. You're going to have 60 days to right that wrong and get up to conditional, or conditional or satisfactory. However, other commercial motor vehicles who are not transporting passengers and are not transporting hazardous material, they're going to have 75 days to correct it. Okay, and if you don't correct it by then, guess what? You're prohibited from operating any vehicles on our highways and byways. Sounds simple enough, right? Okay, so these are some of the things that they're looking at when they're taking into account your safety fitness standard or your safety fitness review. Compliance review is going to deal with the driver's hours of service. It's going to deal with the vehicle inspection and maintenance. It's going to deal with driver qualification. It's going to deal with the CDL requirements, financial responsibility, a la insurance, accidents that they've had, or wrecks, which we would like to refer to them as, hazardous materials, driver training, alcohol and controlled substance testing, other safety and transportation records, and roadside vehicle out of service rate. So that is all we're going to cover. There are other things that I could talk about as far as the safety fitness standards, but hey, I mean, this is just a brief overview. As I've said many times before, that if you have more questions about this type of thing, feel free to reach out to me or someone else in your area. And as always, have a blessed day, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Big Rig Bull is out of here.